A lot of people maybe still struggle with, like, how are they perceived? How does God see them? Are they accepted by God? You know, can you out-sin yourself outside of the grace of God? Like, oh, I just sinned too much, and Christ just did not realize that I was sinning this much when he died for sins. It's like, no, because Christ operates in two roles. He operated as the sacrifice for your sins prior to you ever existing. So he had already, again, when we talk about the Day of Atonement and the way that ancient Israelites saw sin is different from the way that we see sin, right? Like, we see sin as an act of disobedience. And yes, or like, you know, doing something wrong. And yes, God sees it that way too, but there's a deeper component of it where when it came to, with the Israelites, the way they saw sin is a breaking of the covenant, a breaking of the relationship, a betrayal. So if somebody stole $100,000 from you, shout out to you if you got $100,000 to steal. But let's say somebody stole $100,000 from you, but then they return the money, right? They're like, hey, I stole it, I was wrong, here's the money. The act of stealing the money is the sin. The issue is your relationship with that person is no longer the same, even if you get the money back. You understand what I'm saying? So like, even if the fact that they stole from you in the first place now alters you all's relationship. And so how can that person, if they wanted to be restored back into proper relationship like it never happened, how can they be secure in that? They can't. That person could always be wondering, but if you, the person who was wronged, if you went out your way to sacrifice something on their behalf as a sign that you guys are good, this is proof that me and you are good forever, then they don't have to worry about that. They just have to what? Trust that. And this goes back to, do we believe that what Christ did on the cross was enough? For us as believers who may struggle and may like be wondering, like, am I good? You know, is he mad at me? Like XYZ. I think the idea of Christ operating not only as the sacrifice, but also as the high priest. He is the intercessor. So the one that you have wronged not only has sacrificed himself for your wrong, but is interceding. And your response, your job is to believe that. Is to believe that. To believe that and to ask ourselves, like, what does my life look like if I'm not afraid about whether or not me and God are good?